Hello, welcome back. Congratulations, you made it to section 5. In this section, we're going to learn some new class level concepts, some method types, and something called interface. We're going to start in this video with something called static methods. We have seen static methods before. In this video, we're going to learn what they are for and how they are used. Let's go ahead and create a new project. We will name it section 5, hit finish. And also, as always, we'll go to source, do a right click, new, create a Java class. We'll name it static methods. We'll also create a package, java2.section5. We need a main method to test this out. We'll create a main method, hit finish. We have seen the static keyword, right? What does static mean? Static means something belongs at a class level and not an object level. What do I mean by that? When we created employee classes earlier, we created methods that are just public void, right? That are never static something. That was because we were creating objects for employees and we were calling those methods. So any method that you invoke from an object are the methods that you create in class, the non-static methods. But if some methods do not belong to any object but belong at a class level and you don't need an object to invoke them, that's when you will make a method static. Let's see how it works, right? Let's go ahead and create a new public, or let's go ahead and create a new class. We have not done this before, so it'll be a good learning experience. So far, whenever we have created Java classes, we have had only one class in it, right? And a main method, mostly a main method in it. But you can actually create or write two classes inside the same source file. You can call class um, operations, right? And inside that you can say public static. Let's create a method that adds two numbers and returns it, right? Let's int calculate sum, and we can say int num1 and int num2. We've seen methods before, so it's not different. We're creating a method by name calculate sum that is going to return of type int, public because we need public access to it, and static is what we are learning. By making it static, you would be able to call this method without creating an object, and we're going to see how, right? So we have num1 and num2 as parameters. We're going to create int result equals num1 plus num2, and we're going to return the result. We're getting an error here because we are not returning anything yet. Now if you say return result, it goes away. So before we call this, let's take a moment to understand why we have two classes and why it's allowed, right? We've learned long back that every Java class that you're trying to run or every Java file will need to have one public class, right? You cannot have two public. You have one public class. Let's see what happens when we make this public. It's going to say public type must be defined on its own file, right? What it means is if you're making something public, create a separate file for it. But if only one of them is public, it's allowed. We're just creating one class and then another class which is public, right? When we try to run this, Java is going to look for the public class and the main method, and it's going to start running there. And in here, you can call this method and you don't need an object for this class. You can say system.out.println. Um, we can do operations, which is the class name. It's not an object, it's a class. If you say dot, Eclipse will show you what options you have available. As you can see, calculate sum shows up. And here you can say 22, 44, semicolon. See, there are no errors. This is a valid statement. We are calling calculate sum method using the class name and we are passing parameters. Let's try to run it. Right click, run as Java application 66. So we got the output. We were successfully able to create a static method and call it using the class and no object. This may come in handy several times where you really need a method that can be called just with the class, and you don't need to specially create an object for it. One classic example of this is the math class that is available. We've been looking at string builder, and so on. Just like we have a math class. So if you type math dot see java.lang.math. All the string builder, math, they're all defined in java.lang package, and java.lang package is automatically available. You don't need a separate import statement. You don't need to explicitly say import java.lang.anything, right? Because you can say dot star. When we say dot star, it is going to import all the classes that is available in a package, but you don't need to do it because java.lang is automatically imported for you. So coming back to the math class, if you say math dot, as you can see, there are a bunch of methods that are available that you can call because they're all static. Let's take one example, right? If you want to create math dot max, right? You want to find the maximum number of two numbers. You don't really need an object for it. Why would you create an object, store the two doubles, and then call a method to perform the operation when the whole purpose of the method is to take two numbers, check which one is max, and then return the result to you, right? So that's a great example for a static method. So just like that, you may encounter situations in your Java programming where you need a method to perform a specific function. It doesn't have to perform on an object. It just has to perform the function on whatever you pass it. That's when you'll use a static method. And coming back to again math class, as you can see, there are a bunch of methods available. Any type of math operation that you want to do, I would really recommend to check the math class first before you go about coding it your own. Because if you want something, chances are the math class would have a static method to perform that. So that's basically that's basically static methods. So hope you understand what static methods are for, because they will really come in handy. That's basically it. Thank you so much. See you in the next video.